So my first video generated a lot of discussion about the Castlevania references and Easter eggs found within Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and between what comments were pointing out to me, some more searching I did while combing through the game itself, and things I stumbled upon within the greater Bloodstained internet discussion, I decided to make a second video to follow up on the first one. So, here's part 2 of that quest. I suggest that if you haven't checked out my original video, you should probably nip on over there now and watch it first, as some of the things I will point out in this video will reference the first one. Even more Alucard associations. I mentioned previously just how many references OD has within his character that are throwbacks to Alucard from Symphony of the Night. Turns out, there are more than even I realized at the time. His full name is Orlox Fahrenheit Dracula. The first and surnames are obvious Easter eggs to other vampire characters, but Fahrenheit's is also Alucard's middle name. On top of Robbie Belgrade doing the English voiceovers for OD, the original Japanese voice actor for Alucard, Ryotaro Okiayu, voiced OD as well for the Japanese release of Bloodstained. Also, I'll amend what I previously said about OD not dropping an item should you air juggle him like you would the Master Librarian in Symphony of the Night. While an item doesn't drop per se, you do gain access to a chest that holds the nose glasses. Indeed, OD can be seen wearing the nose glasses after you've defeated him in his boss battle. Oddly enough, the nose glasses look similar to what is worn by the End Demon, or Tengu Demon, familiar in the Saturn version of Symphony of the Night. Iga really did want to pack as much as he could of everyone's favorite Dhampir protagonist into the new Bloodstained character. Igarashi truly wanted Bloodstained to be his next Symphony of the Night, to the point he snuck in a few weapons and techniques that were lifted straight from Soten. The Bandit Blade, for instance, has a technique that mimics the backstab ability of the Alucard sword. The Flying Edge and Oracle Blade swords both mimic the attack of the Heaven Sword from Symphony. The Rava Burrell and Rava Velar are the fastest blades in the game that act exactly like the Chrysogrim, as well as the Valman Wave from Dawn of Sorrow. You could even go so far as to compare the Bloodbringer Familiar Shard to Alucard's Sword Familiar. The difference being that the Sword Familiar becomes an optional weapon at a certain level, while the Bloodbringer sword associated with the Bloodbringer Shard are two separate entities tied to one another. These are associations beyond weapons using the same names between Bloodstained and previous Igavanias, such as Graham. The big reveal of Symphony of the Night's inverted castle has remained one of the most remembered moments in Castlevania history. Taking a game that was already fairly large and literally doubling its size was a fun shock for all fans when they came upon it. When Koji Igarashi told Bloodstained backers that his new game would be his quote-unquote largest yet, many of us thought he'd pull another inverted castle move on us. And technically, he did. When you receive the invert shard from the Ouroboros, you can invert gravity from Miriam at will and reach areas that were previously inaccessible. This was a clever trick pulled by Igarashi to remain true to his word, in a sense. You aren't unlocking an inversion of the castle itself, but simply inverting your own positioning, thus creating a new-ish experience. While this trick didn't blow my mind like the inverted castle in Symphony did, it's still a clever little mechanic to include that does give a nod to its spiritual successor. So this is a huge Easter egg in my opinion, and one that really embodies the term. Twitch user Tarkosis dropped a huge cut on me when he claimed that the rune circle around the Revenant boss during your fight with him actually says, "What a horrible night to have Dracula's Curse." This is obviously meant to be a very hidden throwback to Castlevania II Simon's Quest, as the familiar text displayed whenever night falls. Not really believing him at first, I dove into researching the claim nonetheless. While the gameplay didn't show much of anything, I found my answer in the official Bloodstained art book, where character art for the Revenant shows a message in a pseudo-runic text that acts as the demon's aura circle. The runes seem to be a mix of Celtic and Norse, along with some incidental lettering meant to direct the eye to the proper conclusion, with a few liberties taken. But otherwise, the symbols are meant to spell out, what a horrible night to have Dracula's Curse. Huge thanks to Tarkosis for bringing this to my attention, as it probably is the deepest hidden Castlevania reference I've come across in the game so far, and the one I'm the most excited about. Iga and his team are delightful bastards for sneaking this in under the radar. So there you have part 2 of my Now series on Castlevania Easter eggs in Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. While the obvious stuff seems to have been more or less covered, who knows what other super obscure, well-hidden references the Bloodstained team might have snuck into the game that aren't as easily sussed out, and what more have yet to come with the DLCs. Hopefully there's still hunting yet to do, and I very much look forward to it.